Kidopia Tales presents
The Eagle and the Python, a Valley of Unlikely Friends. A lesson in friendship and teamwork. Talon, a proud eagle, and Viper, a cunning python, are fierce rivals in a peaceful valley. When a massive boulder threatens their home, they must put aside their differences and work together to save the valley. But after their daring rescue, will their newfound alliance last or crumble? Any guesses? Come, let's find out. In a deep, lush valley nestled between towering mountains, there lived a majestic bald eagle named Talon. Her snowy white feathers glistened in the sunlight, and her sharp eyes could spot the tiniest creature from miles away. Talon ruled the skies with grace and power, her wings cutting through the air like knives. She was proud, strong, and fiercely independent, believing no other creature in the valley could rival her might. Meanwhile, on the valley floor below, a long and clever python named Viper slithered through the tall grass and twisted trees. With shimmering scales of green and brown, Viper blended seamlessly into his surroundings. He was known for his cunning, agility, and intelligence, moving swiftly and silently through the underbrush. Like Talon ruled the skies, Viper was the master of the ground. Though they lived in the same valley, Talon and Viper had always been bitter enemies. They never spoke kindly to one another, always competing for dominance and control over the valley's resources. When Talon wasn't swooping down from her perch to startle smaller animals, Viper was slinking through the undergrowth, catching prey with his smooth, silent strikes. One warm afternoon, as Talon soared high above, she spotted Viper near the riverbank. With a screech, she swooped down in anger. "Stay away from my nest, you slippery snake! You don't belong here!" Viper lifted his head, eyes gleaming, and hissed back, "Your nest? The valley doesn't belong to you, bird. Don't act like you own the place." Their angry words filled the air as they glared at one another, neither willing to back down. Talon, perched on the tallest pine, spread her wings wide. "If you cross me, Viper, you'll regret it. I could snatch you up and throw you across the mountains." Viper, undeterred, flicked his tongue and grinned. "You think you're that fast? I'd love to see you try." Their bickering escalated until, suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the valley. The ground trembled beneath them as a massive boulder broke free from the mountain above, hurtling toward the valley at terrifying speed. Talon's sharp eyes widened in horror. The boulder's headed straight for the river. If it blocks the water, we'll all be in danger. Without thinking, she leaped into the sky, racing toward the boulder with all her strength. But as strong and swift as she was, Talon couldn't stop the boulder alone. Viper, watching from below, saw Talon struggling against the approaching disaster. He thought for a moment about letting her handle it alone. After all, wasn't she his rival? But as the boulder grew closer, threatening to destroy the valley's delicate balance, Viper's mind shifted. The safety of all the creatures, plants, and the valley itself hung in the balance. Viper called out, "Talon! You can't stop it by yourself." Hovering in the air, Talon turned to him with frustration. "What do you suggest, snake? It's too big for me." Viper quickly scanned the valley, his clever brain racing for a solution. Then, he spotted a tall tree, perfectly positioned to intercept the boulder's path. "We need to knock that tree down. Together, we can stop it before it reaches the river." Talon hesitated, her pride making her pause. Could she really trust Viper, her enemy? But there was no time to waste, the boulder was nearing the riverbank. Without another word, Talon swooped down beside Viper, grasping the top of the tree with her sharp talons. Viper coiled his body around the trunk and hissed, "We need to push it over. Use your wings." Talon flapped her wings furiously, while Viper squeezed and twisted with all his strength. The tree groaned and creaked but wouldn't budge. "We need more force," Talon shouted, flapping harder. "I'm trying," Viper hissed back, using all his muscle to bend the trunk. Slowly, the tree began to tilt under their combined strength. "We're doing it," Talon cried as the tree shifted more and more. With one final effort, the tree toppled over, crashing into the path of the rolling boulder. With a thunderous impact, the boulder smashed into the fallen tree and came to a halt, just inches from the river's edge. The valley grew silent. Talon and Viper stood side by side, panting from the effort but relieved that the disaster had been averted. The animals that had hidden during the chaos peeked out from their homes, marveling at what had just happened. Talon turned to Viper, her sharp eyes softened with gratitude. "I couldn't have stopped it without you, Viper. I never thought I'd say that." Viper smiled, his tongue flickering. "You weren't so bad yourself, bird. Maybe we're more useful together than we are apart." Talon nodded, stretching her wings. "Perhaps this valley has enough space for both of us. And maybe, just maybe, we don't have to be enemies." From that day on, Talon and Viper were no longer rivals. Instead of competing, they found ways to work together to protect their shared home. Whether it was guiding lost animals, finding food, or keeping watch over the valley, the eagle and the python became an inseparable team. Their once fierce rivalry turned into an unexpected but powerful friendship. The other animals of the valley, who had always feared their constant fighting, were astonished by the change. "If Talon and Viper can be friends," they whispered, "maybe we can all live in peace." And so, the valley flourished, becoming a place of harmony and cooperation, where even the most unlikely pairs could learn to trust and support one another. The moral of the story is that true friendship can happen between anyone, no matter how different they are. By working together, trusting each other, and showing kindness, even enemies can become great friends. Teamwork and understanding help overcome challenges and create strong bonds, making us stronger together. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Your support means everything. Stay tuned. Thank you.